Once you launch MLB The Show 22, the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is set your settings. You have two options. You either go into custom practice, and inside custom practice, you go ahead and set the settings that you want for fielding, for hitting, as well as base running and throwing. And if you don't want to do that and you already know everything that you do want, or you're copying someone, you just go at the home page screen into the settings section and you change your settings right there. Because if you enter Diamond Dynasty, chances are that those settings won't stick for the next game you enter in Diamond Dynasty. It will just reset to the default that you have outside of Diamond Dynasty. Step 2 is going to be to instantly head into the Team Affinity program. It is time limited this year, which means that either A, once the program expires, these cards are no longer going to be available and you will never be able to obtain them again, which can therefore allow you to sell them. And if that's the case, then you might want to invest in these cards, so at a later point, whenever new players come or players that didn't do Team Affinity Season 1 needs these cards for collections, you can sell them off to them at a much higher inflated price. But that's only if they're sellable. Or final option, at a later point, they're going to be coming back, whether it's in an inning program, whether it's going to be inside hidden rewards in terms of conquest, or inside a Team Affinity program as well. But I mean, why wouldn't you go ahead and instantly look at which players you want to go ahead and fill out your Diamond Dynasty team with? I mean, you're looking at the East that has Rafael Devers, Aroldis Chapman, Wander Franco, Cedric Mullins, and then last but not least, they got Alek Manoah from the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, these are amazing cards, 90 overalls for you to start the year off with. So you guys are going to remember me for this saying, but I want you to get your notebook, Excel sheet, I don't care what it is that you track things down with. You want to write down every single position and then write down a player from Team Affinity that you would like to fill in the void for each and every single position, including the bench, including the bullpen, and including the starting rotation. Now, part 3 is quite simple if you ask me. All you're gonna do is go into the division that has the most amount of players and you're gonna check out what the missions are for that division. Most likely it's gonna be something pretty simple, such as tally innings with players from teams from that division, and it's gonna have an online criteria and an offline criteria. You will most likely tackle this in the offline criteria at the beginning of the game, especially if the servers are shaky. But if they're not and they're working perfectly, you can tally it online, whether it's through events, battle royale, or ranked seasons. But we're not up to that point yet, so all we're gonna be doing right now is writing down the missions. If all of them have tally innings and just tally innings, then just put universally tally 250 offline innings for 20 points, and then tally 150 online innings for 8 points. The reason why you get more points for the offline points rather than the online points is because the online points work on the offline points at the same time. So that's why it's a bigger criteria to reach as opposed to online. But you're also going to, for each division, write down the mini missions that you have for each player found within packs inside that Team Affinity program. Now, before we go and head into Conquest or anything like that, I want you to also take a quick look into the inning program, and I want you to do the same thing. Check out the daily missions, write them down, and check out the missions that are both online and offline within that inning program, as well as if they have any missions that are catered to a certain game mode. You also want to write those down as well, so you're not wasting time having to flip back and forth between them. And then we're gonna head over to the player program and we're gonna check out the starter program. We're gonna check out the missions for the starter program, and we're also going to write these bad boys down. That way, when we finally do decide to enter a game, we have a team that's built so nicely, so precisely, that we're gonna be working on completing programs all over the world, and we're gonna be getting packs from all over these programs. Like, come on, we're gonna be pulling Mike Trout, baby. Now you're saying to yourself, Blade, what is the next step? I don't have any of the players inside any of those teams inside the division in order to go ahead and accumulate innings. So you have two options. You either can do it through the showdown, get the diamond cards, or get players from that division through the showdown, because within the Team Affinity program, you're going to be getting yourself packs that contain players from that division that are going to be bronzes and silvers. As you can see right here, you will be getting players from whichever division it is you're working on, and you're going to therefore be able to fill up your team with players that that will allow you to accumulate innings for that program. So you can either A, do it through Showdown, but if you're someone that struggles at Showdown and gets frustrated easily playing Showdown, I have a second option for you that might not be as time effective, but it's definitely going to be effective in terms of rewards within the game. What I would highly suggest you go ahead and do is look at the top 2-3 divisions that you really want to work on, and I would look into each and every single common and bronze player inside the division, and I would put a buy order for 5 stubs on each and every single common player, and then for 25 stubs, which is the minimum you can put for each and every single bronze player. Trust me, day one, these cards are going to be selling quick, and they're going to be selling fast, and sometimes they're going to be selling for the quick sell price. So I want you to get the buy orders in, and I want you to start filling out your team with common players and bronze players from whatever division it is you are currently working on. And once you do that, we can go on to the next step, which is going to be Conquest. Now this is most likely the final step. I'm a liar, it's not Conquest. It can be either Conquest or Event. It's however you want to look at it. Most likely the first event of this game cycle is going to allow you to use common and bronze players. So if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by knocking out not only offline but also online innings, you're gonna fill up your team with commons and bronzes from those divisions that you're working towards. But if you don't want to do it online and you don't want to play events, you don't want to ruin the batting averages of any of those players, you're gonna go towards the starter conquest maps. You're gonna do the starter conquest maps, and you're also going to do the time limited first inning program to allow you to accumulate experience towards the first inning program and complete it. And I said first inning program, but I meant the first inning conquest map that will allow you to get experience towards that first inning program. So I mean, you're gonna be doing so many things simultaneously that you're gonna be getting rewards, and you're gonna be like, yo, I don't even know where these rewards are coming from. They're just gonna keep shooting at me. Now once you do all of that, and once you start getting those diamond players, I would highly suggest you go ahead and check out the starter showdown. The starter showdown, it most likely isn't gonna have any player that is on the same tier level as those 90 overall Team Affinity Season 1 cards, but it might have a solid bullpen arm, it might have a solid starter to fill out your team, or a solid bench bat to fill out your team. So you don't have to do it, but just take a quick glance, see what's offered in there, and if it is someone that you believe you could use, whether it's now or at a later point for collections, you want to go ahead and do that. You also want to go ahead and do the same thing for the starter player program. This time around, it was Mickey Mantle. Now this Mickey Mantle, almost nobody used, I would want to say, but he is a great card for you to go ahead and use in terms of collections. It's an all-star card, and it just helps out. Each card helps. So you might want to take a look. If it is someone that can 100% fill a void inside your team, you're going to want to work into this program instantly in terms of the moments and collections. And the final thing that I want you to do is going to be the daily moment. If they do run this program back this year, you want to knock it out first thing first. Whenever you wake up, whenever you launch MLB The Show, you want to knock out the daily moment as soon as possible, because if you forget one, you might miss out on a big reward, and you might miss out on players to use for collections until the final daily moments program, where you finally get the chance to re-earn all those rewards you missed out on. So those are all the steps. I hope you guys have listened to me, and I hope you guys end up enjoying MLB The Show 22. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.